about Sam Howell starting quarterback?
Funny you ask. No, yes, we're gonna. I talked with Eric Bieniemy and Tavita yesterday, and after our first preseason game, after both those joint practices, I'm going to name Sam our starter this year going forward. He's basically met the challenge that we talked about, and that was seeing the growth and improvement from OTAs and mini camp, and then talked about going into training camp and continue to grow and show us what he's capable of, and we've been very pleased with it, to the point where I decided yesterday that we were going to name him the starter going into the regular season.
Rob, was there a point where you just kind of solidified it for you, or is that you've seen the growth after the season?
I think after the first practice against Baltimore, that was kind of the high watermark for me in terms of having to see him show us that he is capable of doing the things that we need him to do. It was a very good day. There was a lot of positive things that came out of it, and watching the tape back at the office I had at the hotel, the little room I had, I kept thinking to myself, that's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. And so I wanted to make sure that when we got back yesterday, we had an opportunity, because the players were out. I wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to talk about what we're seeing and make sure it was the things that we needed to see. And we all agreed. And so I just feel confident enough and comfortable enough to say that, Sam's our guy. And we really think that he's done those things. There is still more growth to go, and he's going to continue to get better. We believe that. And I'm very confident going forward.
Why did you decide to wait till now?
Because they were off yesterday, and I didn't have.
Generally, instead of earlier in the season or even earlier in the offseason, why did you want to see him go through?
Because I really thought that was all the things that he needed to do in terms of showing us growth. And I did purposely talk about the Baltimore practices, the scrimmages, because you're going to go up against somebody new. You're not necessarily going to have game plan for them. You're going to have to work off of just what you've learned and exhibit some of that growth. And that's what I believe I saw. And I felt comfortable enough yesterday to sit down with Tavita and Eric and listen to what they had to say, and it really kind of helped me make my decision. And we just feel that now is a good opportunity going forward. So the players will know, and the community will know, the fan base will know, as we start getting prepared for the regular season.
Be with the poor guys?
Yes, I met with them. They were off yesterday, so I grabbed them first thing this morning. I wanted to let Jacoby know that this wasn't what he didn't do. This was about what Sam did. Jacoby's been a true pro. He's done everything that we've asked, and he's also helped mentor Sam. He's been a good teammate to Sam, and now I know why so many great things have been said about who Jacoby Brissett is, and I think he's a more than viable quarterback. But again, there were certain things that we felt Sam had to show us, going in, and I think everybody knew that. From my perspective, it was Sam's to lose. And he did nothing to lose it. He did the things that he needed to do, and he showed the growth that I was looking for.
Was there any point about this process? Was there any point about this process where you doubted Sam would be able to take the job?
I didn't have doubt, but if I would have, I could have changed my mind. But I didn't have any doubt. But I wanted to get through Baltimore. To me, I thought that was where it would have come to a head. That. You go out there and just lay an egg, but no, he came out that first practice and he was on. He made a couple mistakes, things that most certainly are correctable, and things he'll learn as he grows. But for the long haul, for the future of us going forward, I really do believe that Sam's the guy we're going to go with because of that.
What are the things coming out of practice that you want to do correctly to take a first step?
Well, I think it's just the whole part of the playbook. Just really getting a great grasp of it. Our quarterbacks are still learning. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of little nuances. And I think as Sam continues to go through the training camp, he's going to do some good things. He's going to do some things that he goes, hey, we got to correct that. But that's going to be all part of the growth going forward. I go all the way back to the Cowboys game, You know, when he threw the interception and he self-corrected right away, he knew what his mistake was. You know, everything considered, he played really well in that game. So then we go out and we go into OTAs and mini camps, and I was really thrilled with the growth we saw. And then come in, start training camp, and you just start seeing him having day after day, you know, goods and lows, highs. And then there was a couple of practices that we had which were exceptional. Not just his, but the team, the way that everybody seemed to get it. And you feel really good that that's a good sign. Then playing the preseason game, the way he played, I thought there was a lot of positives. And to me, I was real anxious to get to Baltimore. And now having had the chance to go back and look at the tape, I could say there's been the significant kind of growth that we were looking for, that I feel we need to have. And so I'm very confident and comfortable in saying that he's our starter.
Could you run us through like why it didn't seem like your traditional competition, the big glove competition, it just seemed like this was Sam's opportunity to lose. How did you kind of land on that when you just wanted to get a better route?
Because it's one of those things that in their careers, you know, he and Jacoby are at two different points in his career. So to me, a guy that's ascending, that's growing into it, you know, you've got to look at it that way as much as a guy that's there. And so, because going forward, you know, if this is the guy, there's a lot of good things you can do. And I look at some of the models and some of the other teams in the league that have done this with young quarterbacks, and look at where they are today. It's pretty indicative. If you get your guy and he's a young guy, you can do some really good things in terms of roster building. Yes. No, coming up next week, you mean?
No, sorry.
No, because we play Monday. Yeah, he's going to play Monday. Yeah, he'll play Monday.
When you look at it too, like, how do you measure Sam, like, where he's at now versus where he can get to, and how much does that impact a decision like this?
I think he's in a really good spot. I think he's right now a more than serviceable quarterback. He's a guy that's growing. He's a guy that can win, I believe. You know, again, and I go back to last year's Dallas game. You know, they were playing. They played all their starters. They were playing for, you know, playoff positioning. We had a young guy that had to go out and show us what he could do, and he played that way. He had a whole week of preparation. So I felt, you know, when you take your game plan and you play specific plays and you work specific things, and he showed the ability to take that from the classroom, from the practice field, and put it on the game field, you know, that really resonated with me. And then going into OTAs and mini camps and seeing how he did those things, you know, I saw growth. And then the way we started camp this year, I believe I saw growth. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for our football team.
Rob, what have you seen from the quick game passing so far?
I've seen good decision making and accuracy. He gets the ball out quickly. He's got quick twitch to make a decision. You know, and again, like I said, there are some things. There's been some growing pains. You know, there was a couple examples from the Cleveland game that you know we've worked on and corrected, and we saw it happen in Baltimore's practice. Almost the same exact situation. And in the Baltimore practice, he answered the question. You know, he didn't answer the question in the preseason game, but it was something that was worked on, something that he had practiced, and then sure enough, it happened in one of the practice drills with Baltimore, and he made the right decision and said, okay, there's growth. He gets that. Those are the kind of things that we were looking for, is that he doesn't repeat the same mistake, that he learns from his mistakes, and he can self-correct at times if he has to.
To be the DB, was there much of a discussion, or did everybody?
Oh no, it was very good discussion. We talked about everybody, everything, but everything we talked about was positive. There was, you know, there was growth and stuff like that was part of the conversation, but I think everybody's on board going forward, knowing, you know, what this could mean for the franchise, having a young quarterback grow and develop as, you know, for the future, and what it means for the roster build as well.
Did it surprise you at all throughout this process?
No. I mean, this is what I was anticipating. I think this is what we were all hoping for, is that he continues to grow and shows growth and the potential for what he can be as a football player for us.
Have you decided on a starter or left guard?
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. You know, we're going to continue to evaluate that. You know, having Sadiq back out on the football field now, I think is going to continue that for us. But no matter who it is, the third guy, is going to have an opportunity to play as well. So we just got to look at that and continue to work it and see how it goes.
Do you know how much the starters will play on Monday?
No, that's a discussion we're going to have tonight as a coaching staff. We'll talk about it to begin with, and then we'll solidify that tomorrow night.
How about from Logan? Do you have an update on him? How much work he might be able to do?
We'll see. We're going to increase a little bit more of his work off to the side before we start engaging him in some of the group activities. But he'll continue to do what he's been doing. But he did say he's feeling better and better, and that's been a huge plus.
How about from Darian?
Same thing for Darian. It's got to be a gradual thing, and we'll see how that goes for him as well. Chase is in the same situation I told you guys about. Again, this is all about getting past a certain point with the doctors, and then we'll go from there. But he's going to be out here. He's allowed to do everything except for contact right now.
You guys have any point getting down?
You know what? They were checking him this morning, and I haven't gotten an update on it.
Ron, what are some things that you have liked from when you started evaluating him? What are the things that you've liked about his growth? And then what are some of the things, his demeanor, his approach, that have kind of stayed the same that you've been impressed with?
I think if there's one thing about Sam is very level-headed. He keeps himself pretty much like that. I like his decision-making as far as where to throw the ball, where to place the ball once he's thrown it. And I think he's shown that he's got a handle and a feel for the playbook. And as I said, one thing that we talk about is that when we start narrowing the playbook down for specific teams and studying and preparing for specific teams, I think that'll also show some of the growth.
With Danny, going back to Danny, because of how it happened, I mean, is there a set with the way it happened? I mean, there was.
No, I'm upset with the way it happened. It's just unfortunate too, and to what extent, we don't know yet, and we won't know anything until. Well, they might know something now. I just haven't had a chance to talk to Al. But it's unfortunate that did happen at all.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ron.